They had fame, fortune, and fans, but they wanted something more. Perfection. From cooking oil injections to ribs being removed, and from melting faces to cement fillers, these are the most extreme cosmetic cautionary tales in history. What happens when the quest for eternal youth turns into a living nightmare? Some of these stars ruined their careers, while others paid the ultimate price. 1. Mioku, the model who injected cooking oil. Once a budding singer and model with dreams of eternal youth, Mioku became one of the most tragic cautionary tales in cosmetic history. Her fixation began at age 28 inches Japan, but eventually, her addiction to surgery became so severe that doctors refused to treat her any further. Unwilling to accept no for an answer, she returned to Korea and found a physician who not only injected silicone into her face, but also provided her with a syringe and supplies to do it herself at home. When her silicone supply ran out, desperation took over, and she made the catastrophic decision to inject cooking oil into her face. Yes, the kind used for frying food. The reaction was devastating. Her face swelled and scarred to the point where even her own parents could not recognize her. Although public donations later helped fund corrective procedures, and doctors managed to remove some of the foreign substances, the damage was largely permanent. Now in her 60 seconds, she works at a recycled clothing shop, far removed from the glamour she once chased. 2. Michael Jackson, the king of pop's transformation. While the world remembers Michael Jackson for his moonwalk and musical genius, his physical transformation remains a massive part of his legacy. His journey into surgery started with a nose job in 1979. But it didn't stop there. Over the decades, reports suggest he underwent numerous rhinoplasties, chin cleft creation, cheek implants, and eyelid modifications. One doctor alleged that MJ would sometimes undergo a dozen procedures in a single sitting. By the 1,990 seconds, his appearance had shifted so radically that he looked like a different person compared to his Jackson 5 days. His sister, LaToya, even claimed that he would use her as a test subject for procedures, like trying on a new nose before committing to it himself. Whether driven by dysmorphia, a quest for perfection, or botched results, his changing face remains a stark example of how seeking surgical perfection can erase one's original identity. 3. Heidi Montag, the reality star's marathon surgery. In the drama-filled world of The Hills, Heidi Montag decided to cash in on her fame by chasing physical perfection. At only 23, she underwent one of the most shocking makeovers in Hollywood by consenting to 10 cosmetic surgeries in a single day. Her laundry list included a brow lift, chin reduction, breast augmentation, liposuction, and Botox, effectively turning her into a before and after display overnight. However, the reality was far from glamorous. Heidi later described the aftermath as a nightmare, admitting she felt fragile and was overwhelmed by pain medication. The transformation was so extreme that her mother cried upon seeing her, unable to recognize her own daughter. Heidi now admits that her decision was driven by insecurity rather than necessity, and warns fans that the glossy Instagram photos hide the brutal reality of recovery and scars. 4. Rourke, from heartthrob to the boxing ring. In the 1,980 seconds, Rourke was the handsome leading man everyone wanted. However, in the 90 seconds, he pivoted to professional boxing, a career that resulted in significant physical trauma, including 2 broken noses and a crushed cheekbone. Seeking to repair the damage, Rourke turned to reconstructive surgery, but the results were disastrous. He went through multiple nose jobs and facial procedures, later admitting he went to the wrong guy for the job. Instead of restoring his looks, the surgeries left his features unrecognizable and somewhat distorted. Now in his 70 seconds, Rourke is candid about his botched procedures, serving as a reminder that sometimes the hardest hits don't come from a boxing opponent, but from the surgeon's scalpel. 5. Pixee Fox, the living cartoon character. Pixee Fox, a woman from North Carolina, found being a regular human too boring and set out to transform herself into a living cartoon. Despite warnings from doctors and pleas from television hosts, Pixee has pursued her goal with the tenacity of a fictional villain. Her surgical history is extreme. She has had 6 ribs removed to shrink her waist, 4 breast augmentations, her jaw broken and reset, multiple nose jobs, and even eye implants to change her iris color. She has undergone more than 20 surgeries in total. Even when the famous doctors on the show botched, refused to operate on her, she viewed it as a challenge rather than a rejection. Her future plans allegedly include a pubic eyelash transplant, proving that she is willing to risk everything to achieve her animated aesthetic. 6. Simon Cowell, the judge who melted his fillers. Known for his harsh critiques, Simon Cowell eventually became the subject of criticism himself due to his changing face. For years, he attempted to stall the aging process with Botox and fillers, but by 2020, fans were shocked by his appearance, comparing him to a melting wax figure. The change was so drastic that it reportedly frightened his young son. Realizing he had gone too far, admitting he looked like something out of a horror film, Cowell decided to reverse the process. He had the fillers dissolved and adopted a health-focused lifestyle, cutting out junk food and drinking more water. He now advocates for a more natural approach, proving that even the strictest judge can admit when he has made a mistake. Number 7. Rajee Narinesingh, the cement injection survivor. Rajee Narinesingh's story is a terrifying glimpse into the black market of cosmetic procedures. In 2005, seeking to feminize her features, she visited an underground doctor known as the Duchess. Rajee believed she was receiving medical-grade silicone, but the mixture actually contained cement, tire sealant, mineral oil, and superglue. The result was catastrophic, leaving her face with hard nodules, swelling, and severe lumps. For years, she hid away in shame until she appeared on the show Botched, where surgeons were able to remove some of the toxic material and restore her face. Rajee now uses her platform to warn others about the dangers of unlicensed practitioners, proving her resilience is stronger than the concrete that was once in her cheeks. 8. Linda Evangelista, the supermodel, frozen by fat. In the 1,990 seconds, Linda Evangelista was one of the world's most famous supermodels. But she largely disappeared from the public eye later in life due to a cosmetic procedure gone wrong. She underwent cool sculpting, a non-invasive treatment promising to freeze away fat cells. However, she suffered a rare side effect called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, PAHA, where the treated fat cells grew larger and hardened rather than shrinking. Despite intense dieting and exercise, the bulges remained permanent. Feeling disfigured and deeply saddened, she sued the parent company and eventually went public with her story. Her experience highlights that even safe, non-surgical treatments can have life-altering consequences, taking down a beauty icon not with scandal, but with a fat-freezing machine. 9. Donatella Versace, the shiny face of fashion. As the head of the Versace empire, Donatella is a fashion powerhouse, but her physical appearance often draws as much attention as her designs. Now in her late 60 seconds, her face is notably wrinkle-free, with a shiny, tight complexion that suggests a heavy reliance on Botox and laser treatments. Her lips are incredibly plump, and her forehead is often described as immobile. While experts suggest her glossy look is a classic sign of excessive toxin injections rather than good skincare, Donatella never comments on the rumors. She continues to present herself with a golden tan and high-fashion confidence, treating her distinct look as part of the brand's luxury mystique. 10. Joan Van Ark, the soap star cliffhanger. Joan Van Ark was once the quintessential American beauty on the hit show Knots Landing. However, over the years, her appearance shifted drastically, leading to shock among fans who remembered her fresh-faced character. In recent years, her skin appeared incredibly tight and her jawline pulled back severely, leading critics to joke that she looked like she belonged in a wax museum. Experts suspect she has undergone a multitude of procedures, including facelifts, cheek implants, and brow lifts. One surgeon cruelly joked that her skin was so tight you could bounce a quarter off it. Joan has remained silent regarding the speculation, leaving the public to wonder what exactly lies behind the mask-like transformation. 11. Katie Price, the glamour model's annual surgery. In the UK, Katie Price is famous for treating plastic surgery as a hobby. Originally known as the fresh-faced model Jordan, she began altering her body in 1999 and hasn't stopped since. By her 40 seconds, she had undergone countless procedures, including facelifts, nose jobs, and veneers. Her most notable obsession is with breast augmentation, Since 2019, she has reportedly gotten a new chest surgery almost every year, with implants weighing over 4 pounds each. Despite warnings from medical professionals about the strain on her body, Katie ignores the risks. She views her body as a project to be experimented with and has turned her surgical journey into a central part of her personal brand. 12. Zhou Chuna, the teen addicted to surgery. Zhou Chuna, a young influencer from China, began her surgical journey at the startlingly young age of 13. Feeling that braces weren't enough, she coerced her parents into paying for double eyelid surgery. The positive attention she received from peers hooked her instantly. By the time she was 17, she had undergone over 100 procedures, ranging from nose jobs using ear cartilage to liposuction and breast implants. Her parents have reportedly spent over $620,000 on her obsession, driven by her threats to quit school if they didn't pay. The physical toll has been immense, resulting in memory loss and scarring. Yet Zhou insists the pain is the price of beauty, serving as a disturbing example of body dysmorphia in the digital age. 13. Jessica Alves, the Ken doll turned Barbie. Formerly known as Rodrigo Alves, the human Ken doll, Jessica Alves has since transitioned and rebranded as a human Barbie. Her pursuit of plastic perfection has broken records, involving over 100 procedures and costs exceeding $500,000. Jessica collects nose jobs the way others buy accessories, a habit that has cost her the ability to smell and caused breathing issues. Her transition included facial feminization, body contouring, and hairline reshaping. Despite facing ridicule and being called a walking filter, Jessica remains unbothered, stating that her surgeries are a lifestyle choice that allows her to align her outer appearance with her inner identity. 14. Priscilla Presley, the victim of industrial silicone. Priscilla Presley, the icon and former wife of Elvis, became a victim of a scam that left her face permanently altered. She fell prey to an unlicensed injector who claimed to be a doctor but was actually using industrial-grade silicone similar to what is used for lubricating car parts instead of medical fillers. The injections caused her face to become puffy, uneven, and stiff. While she has maintained her poise and public presence, her experience is a frightening reminder that even the wealthy and famous can be duped by charlatans, turning a beauty touch-up into a long-term medical nightmare. 15. Carrot Top, the muscular comedian mystery. Scott Thompson, better known as Carrot Top, is famous for his prop comedy. But in recent years, his face has sparked as much conversation as his act. In his 50 seconds, his appearance became noticeably chiseled, smooth, and arched, leading to rampant speculation about brow lifts and Botox. Carrot Top vehemently denies having surgery, attributing his look to intense gym workouts and lifestyle changes. However, the internet remains skeptical, creating memes comparing him to cartoon villains. Whether it's surgery or just an extreme fitness regimen, his transformed look has become a punchline in itself. 16. Sharon Osbourne, the regretful facelift. Sharon Osbourne has always been open about her cosmetic enhancements, but a facelift in 2021 proved to be a breaking point. The 5.5-hour surgery left her looking, in her own words, like a cyclops, with one eye positioned higher than the other, and her skin pulled terrifyingly tight. The result was so alarming that even her husband, Ozzy, offered to pay whatever it took to fix it. After decades of various procedures, this scare led Sharon to declare she is finished with surgery, acknowledging that while she can survive a rock and roll lifestyle, the gamble of plastic surgery is too high a risk. 17. Neven Ciganovic, the unexpected side effect. Croatian stylist and reality star Neven Ciganovic flew to Iran for a nose job to save money, but he returned with a side effect no one saw coming, a permanent and painful condition affecting his lower body. This condition, known medically as priapism, was triggered by a reaction to the anesthesia. While it sounds like a joke, it is a serious condition that can lead to permanent damage. Despite the painful and awkward situation, Neven has maintained a sense of humor about it. Furthermore, the scare hasn't deterred him. He remains committed to future surgeries to cement his international fame, proving that for some, the quest for perfection outweighs even the most bizarre medical risks. 18. Cardi B, the rapper's dangerous basement injections. Cardi B is known for her unfiltered honesty, and this extends to her history with cosmetic procedures. Before she found fame, She paid $800 for illegal butt injections in a basement to achieve the curves she thought she needed to succeed as a dancer. These injections contained biopolymers and were administered without anesthesia, nearly destroying her health. She later had to undergo dangerous corrective surgery to remove the toxic material. Cardi openly shares this story to warn her fans against cheap, black market procedures. While she admits to other surgeries like nose jobs and breast augmentations, she emphasizes that safety should never be compromised for beauty. 19. Jackie Stallone, the glamorous survivor. Jackie Stallone, the mother of Sylvester Stallone, lived a life full of drama and energy well into her 90 seconds. However, she was also famous for her plastic surgery misadventures. In a moment of brutal honesty, she once admitted that bad cosmetic work made her look like a chipmunk with a mouthful of walnuts. Despite the botched fillers and facelifts, Jackie maintained an incredible zest for life, taking tap dancing lessons and lifting weights even at an advanced age. She owned her appearance with humor, proving that while Hollywood's pressure to stay young is intense, spirit and personality are the only things that truly last. 20. Jocelyn Wildenstein, the billionaire Catwoman. If there is a face that defines extreme plastic surgery, it is Jocelyn Wildenstein. Known globally as the Catwoman, the Swiss socialite reportedly spent over $4 million on cosmetic procedures to transform her appearance into something resembling a feline. The rumor mill has long claimed she did it to please her husband, who loved big cats, though Jocelyn denies this, insisting she simply wanted a different look. Her transformation involves extensive facelifts, eye reconstruction, canthopexy, to create a cat-like shape, and massive amounts of filler. The result is a visage that is striking, controversial, and entirely unique. While the tabloids often mock her, Jocelyn remains unbothered, treating her face as a work of art in progress, regardless of the shock value it holds for the rest of the world. 21. Pete Burns, the pop star who sacrificed it all. The late frontman of the band, Pete Burns, was a tragic figure in the world of cosmetic addiction. Known for the hit You Spin Me Round, Burns spent his life savings on reconstructive surgeries after a lip filler procedure went horrifically wrong. The filler migrated across his face, causing severe infection and swelling that doctors warned could lead to the removal of his lips. He underwent hundreds of corrective surgeries to fix the damage, suing the original surgeon but losing his health in the process. Despite the agony, blood clots, and near-fatal experiences, Burns famously declared he would never stop modifying his face, viewing himself as a canvas. His story serves as a somber reminder that cosmetic addiction can have life-altering consequences. 22. Tara Reid, the sweetheart with the botched body. In the early 2000s, Tara Reid was the ultimate girl next door, thanks to her role in American Pie. However, the pressure to have a perfect Hollywood body led her to undergo liposuction and breast augmentation that derailed her career. The liposuction resulted in a rippled and uneven stomach, which became tabloid fodder after an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction on the red carpet exposed the scarring. Tara was open about the emotional toll, explaining that the surgeon butchered her, leaving her body looking contoured in all the wrong ways. It took years of corrective surgery and mental healing for her to regain her confidence, proving that even minor tweaks can turn into major career obstacles if placed in the wrong hands. 23. Courtney Cox, the friend who learned to let go. Courtney Cox, beloved as Monica Geller on Friends, spent years chasing youth in a way that eventually made her unrecognizable to herself. Feeling the immense pressure of Hollywood ageism, she began using facial fillers to plump up sagging skin. It started gradually, but soon became a snowball effect. Doctors would suggest, just a little more here. And before she knew it, her face looked swollen and artificial. Cox eventually realized she looked fake and made the brave decision to have all her fillers dissolved. Now, she embraces a more natural look, openly discussing her regret and serving as a positive example of how to step back from the edge of cosmetic obsession. 24. Madonna, the queen of pop's pillow face. Madonna has always been a chameleon, reinventing her style for decades. However, in recent years, her physical transformation has sparked intense debate. During the 2023 Grammy Awards, the icon appeared with a face so smooth and puffy that fans and critics alike labeled it unrecognizable. Medical experts speculate this is the result of a facelift combined with excessive fat grafting or fillers, often referred to as pillow face. While Madonna slammed the criticism as ageism, the visual shift was undeniable. Her changing appearance highlights the extreme lengths pop culture icons will go to in order to fight the clock, blurring the line between preservation and total alteration. 25. Jennifer Grey. The nose job that erased a career. Jennifer Grey is the ultimate example of how a technically successful surgery can still be a professional disaster. After soaring to A-list fame as Baby in Dirty Dancing, Grey made the decision to get a rhinoplasty to smooth out the bump on her distinctive nose. While the surgery was done correctly, the result was catastrophic for her brand. She later described it as the nose job from hell. She recalled walking into a premiere shortly after the procedure, and even close friends didn't recognize her. By removing the very feature that made her face unique, she inadvertently entered the witness protection program of Hollywood. She went from being one of the most famous actresses in the world to an anonymous face in the crowd, proving that in show business, distinctiveness is often more valuable than perfection. 26. Lara Flynn Boyle, the Twin Peaks pout mystery. In the 90 seconds, Lara Flynn Boyle was the epitome of elegant, classic beauty, known for her roles in Twin Peaks and The Practice. But as the years went on, her appearance began to shift dramatically, confusing fans and critics alike. Her once refined features appeared swollen, with her lips becoming noticeably larger and her cheeks looking puffy and stiff. While Boyle has rarely spoken publicly about specific procedures, industry experts speculate she fell victim to the overfilled trend, using too much filler to combat aging, which can distort the face rather than rejuvenate it. The transformation turned a beloved dramatic actress into a tabloid fixture, serving as a stark reminder that sometimes trying to hold on to youth too tightly can change the very face people fell in love with.